get with your attorney and communicate with the state attorney's office. That's their whole job, is that.
She not gonna help me, bro. They work for the state, bro.
You might be wondering why this guy is crying and begging for help from these fine detectives. This is Stephen Monroe. Stephen was previously questioned about his involvement in the shooting death of Noah Smith, a 14-year-old whose life was cut short when Monroe and his buddies senselessly decided to shoot in a crowd of people. I previously uploaded the first interrogation video along with his courtroom trial.
You can't believe a word that comes out of this defendant's mouth. Not a word. And his testimony, I submit to you, should be crumbled up like a piece of paper and thrown in the trash. They lie because they're guilty. And he lied and lied and lied because he's guilty.
You can watch the full video by clicking the pop-up on the screen. After speaking with Stephen Monroe the first time, the detectives interrogated his co-defendants and realized Stephen's story wasn't adding up. Witness the moment Stephen finally realized the walls are closing in and he may never see freedom again.
Yes. They just brought him outside.
Yeah, we're good.
He's sitting right there.
All right, I'm up.
You got your dad room?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have that. Oh, cool.
There you go. I was gonna start mine, but you got that.
Steven, what's up, man? How have you been treating you so far?
Been alright.
All right. So wanted to run some things by you and clarify some things today. All right, so that's why we're here. Since you're in custody, and I'm going to ask you some questions, I'm going to go ahead and read you your Miranda rights. Same thing as last time, nothing different. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say may be used as evidence against you. You have the right to talk to an attorney and have him or her with you now or at any time during questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. If at any time you wish to stop talking or have an attorney present, all questioning will be stopped at your request. Do you understand each one of these rights that I've read to you today? All right. So some of the things that we want to talk about here today is basically clarification on some of the stuff from the incident with Noah Smith from January. Okay. So we have spent obviously hundreds, thousands of hours collecting all the information from everybody that was there, all the cameras, all the cell phone records, all the Instagram records, all that shit. So there's some inconsistencies in what you told us that we need to clarify, okay? Now, I want to ask you one more time, who was in the car the night when you left Rose Petal Drive and you went down to Pinell that ultimately ended up with Noah Smith passing away?
Some dude that I didn't know, and then it was me, Dre, and Pooh.
Okay, where were you seating?
On this, behind the dude on the left side, from the dude that I didn't know.
Okay, so who was in the front seat?
I think Pooh and Dre was on the right side of me.
Okay, so this is that, and I'm glad that's the first thing you said, because this is the inconsistencies that we have. Okay, so we have met with Dre, and we've also met with Tyrese.
Okay.
All right, they have made it very clear exactly what occurred that night, and what we've determined is that you're being less than honest with us. Yes, about who was in the car that night and where everybody was seated.
No, sir.
Well, all the evidence would suggest that you're not telling us the exact story. We know that there was only 3 people in the car that night. So this guy that you've talked about, this guy with the wigs that was supposedly driving the car, we can tell at this point for sure that that person does not exist. Okay, we know who was driving because they've told us out of their own mouth that they were driving. Devondre Williams, in an interview with his mom and us, sat there and told us very clearly that he drove the car down to Pinell that night. Okay, and he said very clearly that only him, you, and Tyrese Patterson were in that car.
It's not true.
Okay, well, in an independent, separate conversation with Tyrese Patterson today, Tyrese Patterson confirmed that Devondre Williams was driving, and then you and Tyrese Patterson were on the right side of the car. Okay, so we have witnesses, cameras, cell phone records. When phones are in a car with each other, they communicate with each other, and they can kind of tell who's all touching each other's Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and all this shit. And there is no 4th phone in the car, no 4th person. How would you say that? Okay, are you sure you're talking about the same night that I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I'll just tell you what they told us. They told us that Devondre was driving the car. You guys leave Rose Petal. You drive down to Pinell. Tyrese says that you guys were going to his grandma's house to pick up some weed. You pass the block, Terrell Sampson standing on the corner, Terrell starts shooting at you guys. You make the block, come around, shots were returned at Terrell Sampson. Okay? We've been told that Devondre Williams had a gun, but he did not shoot anybody that night. Okay? So Devondre was driving, Tyrese was in the back seat on the passenger side, and you were in the front on the passenger side. Okay? Shots were fired at Terrell Sampson. Nobody hit Terrell Sampson. All right? Some would say unfortunately. I don't want to say that, but some would say that.
That's not the truth.
Okay. Well, we have also reviewed all your Instagram stuff, your cell phone. We've gone through everything. There's no mention of any fourth person. We interviewed everybody that was at the house that night. We talked to Adrian, Crystal, Glib, Nevaeh. Everybody clearly states that there was no fourth person in the car that night. It was just the three of you. Now, what you're risking is, if this is not true, what you're risking is now you have become the only person that's not telling the truth about this.
I'm telling you the truth.
Okay.
There was 4 people in that car.
Okay. Well, Tyrese Patterson just told me 5 minutes ago that Dre was driving, Dre hands him a gun, you have your own gun, and you and Tyrese fire at Terrell.
Of course they're going to try to put me in it.
Well, Dre said the same thing.
Of course they're going to try to put me in it. They both got a lot against me.
What does Dre have against you? It seems like you and Dre are pretty tight.
Well, I had gave them the house, like I said, because they didn't have nowhere to stay.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And none of them was paying bills, so I had to like dismiss it. You feel me? Because nobody was paying bills, so they was pretty much had to find their own way of doing things. And since I was moving, nobody was gonna have nowhere to go. You feel me? But I wanted to finna stay somewhere where nobody was finna pay the bills, and I'm just paying it by myself.
Okay.
So, and
That
they
would
just
lead
don't-
them to tell on themselves and implicate themselves in a
I mean,
homicide?
because they're already in some stuff, so of course they're gonna try to drag whoever they can into it.
Well, I'll use this word because this is exactly what happened, but Tyrese Patterson confessed to shooting and accidentally hitting Noah Smith today.
Okay.
Dre confessed to driving the car. After Terrell Sampson shot at the car, Dre says he looped around the block, gave the gun to Pooh, you and Pooh shoot down the block, okay?
That's still not true.
All right, well, there was 2 guns used in the shooting.
Okay.
We're being told that both guns were given to you to get rid of, okay?
That's crazy.
That's what they're saying. And listen, I don't have a crystal ball.
Yeah, I
All right,
understand.
I'm not a magician, unfortunately. I can't tell you exactly what happened. I can only tell you what we're being told. And that is what we're being told, and it matches up with the evidence a heck of a lot more than this guy that you're saying that you don't know, you've never met before, and just happens to show up the night that there's a shooting in Benel. And
I understand what you're hearing, I understand what I'm risking,
Okay.
but I'm telling you, there was a 4th person in that car,
Okay.
and I know where I was sitting, and I know exactly what I saw, you feel me?
Okay, so what do you know about this 4th person?
Nothing. I just know that he had wicks. I ain't never seen him before.
So what
The
would,
first time I seen him, like I said, because Pooh came to the house with him and they asked us, because it was just me and Dre at the house at first. Well, and besides the other people that was there, you feel me? And he came and he asked us, do we want to smoke? And I said, yeah, you feel me? So we all got in the car. And then, like I said, we went to Benel and we started smoking. And that's when all of that stuff happened.
and what, so, but Pooh was at the house all day.
No, Pooh was not at the house all day.
Where was he?
I don't know. But
So
it wasn't
you guys
at the house
were-
all day. Dre, it was like I said, it was me. It was Lil. No, Lil wasn't there. It was me. It was Nevaeh. It was Adrian. And then there was Dre. You feel me? I don't know where Pooh was all day. But,
Well, we have videos from your Instagram live. Your
okay, but
Instagram live.
he wasn't there all day.
Well, he
Like I'm
puts you
saying.
guys in Benel on the corner of South Peach Street and East Bowie Street at around 11 a.m. and you're singing your song, smoking. Pooh's in the driver's seat, Dre's in the back. You guys were just posted up on the corner waiting for somebody to pull up, right? Nobody pulls up. You guys leave around 5 o'clock. You guys meet up with Ed Boy at the gym, and y'all had him running, right? Somebody pulled the gun on him, whatever. I don't give a fuck about that. But Ed Boy's at the gym. Y'all had him running. Ed Boy, Ed Boy. This is the whole Instagram live video that we had seen. A 15-minute video of you and Pooh in the driver's seat of this Kia, and y'all are both pointing guns at the phone, saying, you know, fuck the ops, basically, that Ed Boy's a bitch, Rod's a bitch, like, pull up then, all this taunting sort of shit. And then that means Pooh's at your house a couple of hours before you guys roll out to Benel. You guys are together. The phones match up together all day long. So later on, Pooh is sleeping or high or whatever the fuck. Dre drives the Kia. You guys go down to Benel together. This guy, this fourth guy, is not on any videos, no record of him anywhere. Tyrese Patterson, without explaining to him what you said, tells us very clearly, this is what happened that night. Dre's driving, Creek is in the front, I'm in the back. We go down there, we're not looking for trouble. Terrell shoots at us, we come back, and we let off rounds at Terrell. And somehow,
I hear what you're saying,
Noah got hit.
but I'm telling you, there was a fourth person in that car,
Okay,
and Dre was not driving.
okay,
Dre was right next to me.
okay. And did Dre shoot?
Like I said, I didn't see. You
Okay.
feel me? I was too busy hearing the gun sounds and putting my head down.
Okay, so everything is on Pooh. Pooh's fault for everything. Pooh, you think Pooh should get charged with
Like I
murder?
said, I mean, he just admitted to you he was shooting, you feel me?
Okay.
But like I said, there was a fourth person in that car. Like I said, I remember, I know what I seen.
Okay.
Remember?
And you sure you're not confusing it with some other night?
No, I'm sure.
Because I know you guys have done, you know, you guys have ridden around there a few times.
No, I'm sure.
Okay. Now, the next couple hours later, you hit up, and I know you used to be affiliated with G and all that shit, right? So a couple of hours later, you hit up your boy on Instagram, and you tell him that you need some help. You gotta get out of town or some shit. And dude can't talk on the phone for some reason, so he's like, just code it out, right? So then you write 211 on a norm. You write 2-11 on a norm, N-O-R-M. What does 211 on a norm mean to you?
Help. Somebody trying to kill me.
Okay. Are there any other lies you want to sit here and look at me in the face and disrespect me like that? You
I'm
want
not
to just get that out of the
I'm
way?
not disrespecting
Because
you.
211, yes you are. 211 on a norm does not mean help, okay? If you don't think that we have access to all this old school GD shit, that we can just pull up
Okay,
at
but
any
that's
moment.
old shit. That's not
Oh, the new shit?
current,
So,
dude.
okay,
You
so,
feel me? I'm not finna sit here and
no,
lie to you and disrespect
no, that's exactly
you.
what you're doing.
I'm trying to go home.
I'll tell you what you are, is that you're a very bright young man.
Okay.
You come from a good family.
Okay.
You have a good situation at home. You have a stepdaughter. You have a girl that's probably willing to marry you someday. Okay? Now that girl also drove a car that ended up killing Kamarion.
I understand what
Right?
you're saying.
Now your girl is also facing charges for murder.
I understand what you're saying.
Right? So now what you're doing is you're just selling me a load of bullshit. You're basically pissing on my back and telling me it's raining. And I'll tell you this right now. 211 on a norm does not mean help. Everybody knows that, okay? I know what the second letter of the alphabet is, and I know what the 11th letter of the alphabet is. All right? And I know in my mind what on a norm means, okay? And we have ran this by multiple GDs, both old and young. We ran it by
That's
gang
what I'm saying.
investigators.
But
So I know what 211 means. 211 means blood killing. Okay? On a norm means civilian, somebody that's not affiliated, not associated. Okay? That's what that means. That's what you wrote a couple of hours afterwards. To me, that means that you knew for sure that this boy was dead and that you needed help to get out of town. Right? Because what happened was you guys killed a normal person. That's what it means. Okay? You were in the car when this guy died. I'm not saying you shot him.
and I'm telling you, like I said, help. I need help.
Right. 211 means blood killer. Right?
I don't know, dude.
You don't know what 211 means?
Bro, I'm not even like banging like that.
You used to be.
Yeah, I used to be.
Listen, man, in your music videos and all the shit that you claim, that's a different persona
I hear what you're
than
saying.
the Stephen Monroe that's crying to me, begging for help.
Yeah, I understand what you're
That's a different person.
saying. Okay.
Okay? So you got to decide which person are you going to be right now, because today is the
I'm
day.
being me, Steven.
Right.
I'm not. That's
Well, I'll tell you what, in about 6 minutes, the whole world is going to find out what's happening with all this shit.
I understand what you're saying.
All right? Because in 6 minutes, we're going live with local news all over the
I
state of
understand.
Florida. You need to decide right now, are you going to be the only one that has a different story that's not true?
But that's the truth, though.
That's
all
not
I can only tell you.
Devondre confessed to driving the
Okay,
car.
I hear what you're telling. I hear
And
what you're
Pooh
saying.
confessed to being in the back and shooting.
Okay.
You need to tell me the truth. The truth that happened that night is that you guys go down there, you're in the front seat, you have your Glock on you, this boy shot at you and tried to kill you. You guys pull around and you shot at him back. Was it self-defense?
I never had a gun, bro, and I wasn't sitting in the front seat. I know where I was sitting.
Okay, so all the other videos of you having a gun a couple of hours beforehand, days beforehand, weeks beforehand, all these guns that you're playing with all the fucking time, right? The guns that all your roommates tell us that you have. All these things. This is the one time you guys decide to go down to op territory and not have your fucking pole
That
on?
shit was Dre gun, like I said.
Which one?
Whatever gun that y'all talking about,
Okay.
any of them guns.
I'm not saying who
Dre
owns the
stuff.
gun. I don't care who
I
owns the
understand
gun.
what you're saying.
You shot down the
but
block
I'm
that
telling
night.
you, no, I didn't.
Steven, you are gonna fuck yourself because you're the only one lying.
Okay.
You're the only one lying. Why the fuck would you be the only one lying in this scenario?
I hear what you're saying.
No, I don't think you do, man. I don't know if you think this shit is just fake, but it ain't.
Okay.
Tyrese is in the other room, a couple rooms down. He's getting arrested for first-degree murder as we
I hear what
speak.
you're saying, dude. I understand what you're saying.
Okay,
I don't
I don't-
understand what you're saying, but I do.
Steven, I don't think you do. I don't think you do. The state attorney's office is not very happy with the fact that you're making up this fourth person and that you're putting somebody else in this fucking mess that doesn't need to be involved, because you guys need to be held accountable for your actions, okay? Devondre Williams is driving, Tyrese Patterson shot, and you shot. How many times did you shoot? That is the big question.
I didn't shoot.
Okay, well, you
No,
shot a
I-
Glock that night.
No, I didn't.
Okay, there's witnesses there, and there's two co-defendants in the car.
I hear what you're saying. Of course, they're gonna try to drag me in something because they already in some shit.
They
bro.
told on themselves. They don't have to drag you into nothing.
Yes,
they
the
told
fuck
on
they do
themselves.
because they don't want to go down by themselves.
They don't give a fuck.
Exactly. They
No,
don't give a
Dre
fuck.
doesn't want to go down whatsoever,
Okay.
right? So he
I hear what
says,
you're saying, bro.
he says you shoot, and he says Pooh shoots.
I hear what you're
Pooh,
saying.
this morning, he just out of anger, we slide him a piece of paper that says you have a warrant for your arrest for murder. He's like, fuck that, I'm not the only one going down for this shit, I'll tell you what happened. He tells us the whole story, and it exactly matches up with the evidence. Exactly.
I hear what you're saying, but
What you're saying does not make any sense.
it
No
might not
driver.
make sense. It
You
might
said
not
a
make
driver
sense,
shot
but
out
I'm
the
telling
driver's
you.
seat, right? You said a driver shot the opposite direction. This driver, this guy.
Because he did.
So he shot down the other end of the block where there was no ops at?
Bro,
Why would he do that?
it's bananas, bro. They just trying to wet shit up. They just trying to kill people. They don't care about anything.
Oh, they
Hear
don't.
what I'm
Okay.
telling you, bro. That's all I can tell you.
What caliber gun did you shoot that night?
I didn't shoot any guns.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. And I'll tell you what, the caliber of the gun makes a big difference in this situation.
I understand what you're
Okay,
saying.
no, I don't think you do exactly, okay? Because, listen, ultimately, Noah was shot and killed with a specific type of bullet, okay? And I think you know whose gun killed Noah Smith. Right? Now, what I'm telling you is that there was multiple shell casings on scene from two different guns. DNA has been recovered from those shell casings. Okay? The DNA is being sent off, and we're going to compare it to yours. I'll tell you, I'll bet you $1 million that your DNA is all over those shell casings. Those are guns that you've handled multiple times.
Yeah, I touched it.
Right, you touched it, sure. Those are guns that you've handled. You're in the car. This boy gets shot. Pooh shoots a gun down the street. He told us what type of gun it was. You shoot a gun down the street. You need to tell me what type of gun that is, because we need to figure out if your bullet is the one that killed Noah or not. Because I'll tell you what, at the end of the day, that is a massive factor in this case. Do you want to just be somebody in the car that was shooting at Terrell? Terrell don't want to fucking press charges. Terrell's going down for this shit too. You think Terrell's going to come in here and say, oh yeah, I want to press charges against Stephen Monroe for shooting at me? Nobody gives a fuck about that. Everybody just wants everybody to be held accountable for what they did during the Noah Smith case. All right? And you were in that car, you shot a gun down the street. I know you shot a Glock. I want to know what caliber it was. Two options. Because this kid was hit with a specific type of bullet. And if you say the right one, you might be all right. I know this is tough, man. I get it. Because you've thought to yourself 1,000 times. You've played it over with Donna. This is what we're going to say. You've talked about it with Dre. This is what we're going to say. All right? And now shit is crashing down on everybody because nobody was able to stay 10 toes down and keep it 100. That's not the way things work, bro. That's not the way it works. All we had to do was slide a piece of paper across the table to Tyrese, and Tyrese flipped immediately. We picked up Dre on some bullshit charge. He comes in with his mama, and he is spilling the beans immediately. You're the only one that's lying. and the opinion of most people, and I'm talking about a jury, let's say, 12 people are going to sit there, and they're going to listen to sweet little 80-pound Devondre Williams say, this is what I did, I'm really sorry for my actions. Tyrese Patterson's going to say, this is what I did, I didn't mean to kill Noah, it was an accident. And then you're going to get up there and say, actually, there was some fourth guy with Wicks, and he did that, and I was just minding my own business in the back seat, when everybody knows it's not true, man. You have to tell the truth. You have to tell the truth, Stephen. Think about what your fucking parents are going to say about this, man. Your parents are fucking good people, man. We know what you did, and it's all going to come out. It's just a matter of fact of whether or not you are going to be honest about it and ask for forgiveness, or you're just going to be the guy that lies and says, I don't want to be held responsible for what I did. And that is not the right place to be. What caliber gun did you shoot that night? Steven, listen. Sorry. Listen, you're a grown man, okay? You gotta make a choice right now. Okay, I understand. You have to make a choice right now. Are you gonna be painted out to be a liar, or are you gonna stand up here like a man and say exactly what you did and let the chips fall where they may? I understand. Listen, man, I know you're scared. I know you are scared. Listen, this is not where you need to be right now.
I don't know what kind of gun it was. I really don't.
Okay. There's two options, Stephen. Was it a 40 caliber or was it a 9mm? Which one did you shoot that night? Okay, whose gun was it?
All of them were Dre's.
They were all Dre's. They were all Dre's? Both guns? Did Dre give his gun to Pooh?
I didn't see all of that.
Okay. Now, I want to try this again, all right? And we're on the right path now. Where exactly were you seating in the car? Tell the truth.
In the front seat.
Okay. Who was driving?
Dre.
All right. And where was Pooh sitting?
In the back seat.
Okay. And then you guys go down there. Why were you guys going down there now?
To smoke.
Okay. So then, did you see Terrell Sampson shoot at your car? You did. Did you know it was Terrell Sampson? But you just heard the gunshots? Okay. How did we find out it was Terrell Sampson that was shooting at you guys? How did you find out, not me?
Because people were talking about it.
Okay. So when you guys come around the block and you guys start letting off fire down the block, what was the intended target? Was it Noah Smith? Did you guys try to shoot and kill Noah Smith? No?
I don't know if that's what they were aiming for.
You don't know that who was aiming for?
Who?
Okay, who were you aiming at?
Who was it aiming?
Huh?
Terrell.
You were aiming at Terrell? Did you see him standing out there? Did he still have a gun when he was standing out there? Okay, did you think he was going to shoot at you? You did. Okay. How many times did you shoot? This is the big important question.
Just shot once.
Just one time?
Yes.
And you can't remember what kind of gun you had? And listen, you've already done a really good job, okay? But I do think, listen, relax, man. I do think that you know exactly what gun you had because I believe that that's your gun.
I don't know what kind of gun I had. I really don't remember.
Okay. All right, listen, relax. Hey.
I'm in here and I don't want to be here.
Okay, I know you don't want to be here, man. Nobody wants to be here. I get that. I completely get that. Tyrese just got hit with a murder charge, bro.
I just don't want to be in this situation. I'm just trying to protect myself.
I get it. You're trying to protect yourself. I understand that. And listen, you have an attorney that you can explain all this to, but you have to be honest with your attorney too. How is your attorney going to rightfully defend you if you're not fucking telling him exactly what happened? And then you're letting the police find out all the information and find out all the details to make you look like a fucking liar. And then how is anybody going to feel bad for you if you're just sitting up here telling things that aren't true? That's what I'm trying to get across to you. Okay? Ultimately, you have to stand up like a man and defend yourself in front of people in a courtroom. And you have to be able to say, this is what I did and this is why I did it. And when you are saying things that are clearly not true, that's when you look to be like a monster and people don't trust you anymore. Okay? You have to be trustworthy. All right, so let's start out. How did all this beef start? What is the fucking problem between the Sampsons and you guys?
I don't know. I inherited the beef because Dre didn't have nowhere to stay and Pooh didn't have nowhere to stay, so I let them stay at my house.
Okay.
And then they were already beefing with these people. I was just being a friend. I was not finna let nobody just hurt my friends or do whatever. Starting to run up on me and they telling me they got my address and stuff. And
right. Who said they had your address?
I don't know. One of them said they had it. We was arguing with him on live.
Was that Rod?
I think it was Rod.
Because Rod was on the live saying like, I just passed Rose Petal. Okay. So what you guys are at Rose Petal. You guys are going to go down to Benel to go get some weed to smoke. Is that right? Did you guys leave Rose Petal with the purpose of going to start some shit with the ops?
No.
Okay, when you get down there, you're driving down Anderson Street. Dre is in the front driving, you are in the front passenger, and Pooh is right behind you in the passenger, right? Okay, when you get to that corner there by the houses, by like sweat shit up there, what happens out there? Who says what?
I don't really know where, like, Vanilla like that. Like
No,
I said, but
well,
I just know that.
Where Terrell was standing. Where,
Seeing Terrell
okay.
and Pooh started yelling. I guess he was telling people to get out the way. And Terrell started shooting at the car. And he spun back. And Terrell. And then he just started shooting at Terrell.
Okay, so Terrell starts shooting. You guys make the corner, right? You go down the road where the gym's at. You come down Bowie Street, right? This is all on camera, so that's why I'm saying it, because I know for a fact. You pull up to the corner, Dre's driving. Now he pulls up so that you and Pooh have a clear line of sight, so you can see exactly down the street there. And then you and Pooh just start shooting at the same time. Did Pooh shoot first? Do you know who shot first?
As I said, one time, Pooh was dumping the whole clip.
Okay, you shot one time and Pooh dumped the whole clip.
Or what I thought was the whole clip. I didn't know he was shooting a lot, and I just shot one time.
Okay. All right, so then after that, you guys leave Benel, you guys go back to Rose Petal, right? That's what all the surveillance cameras show. What happens once you guys get back to Rose Petal?
Get back. Everybody starts hitting us up. I go in my room. They leave. I'm in my room. I'm sleeping. I don't know what happened after that.
Okay. Creed, I need to know where these guns are at.
I really don't know where they're at.
Tyrese told me this morning that you were going to give them to somebody around the way, around the corner, and that they were going to hold them for you.
No.
I need to get these guns off the street.
I don't know where they're at.
Okay.
And I didn't give nobody nothing.
People in the house have told us that you were going to get rid of them.
Oh,
And then Tyrese told us this morning that you were going to give them to a neighbor.
that's not true.
Where did they go then, if that's not where they went?
I don't know.
We have to know what you did with it. Did you keep it with you?
No, I just left.
Did you give it back to, what's his name? To Pooh?
Dre and Pooh, they took, like I said, they took the weapons with them. I didn't, like after that night, I just...
Both of these guys say that they were your guns and that you knew what happened with them afterwards.
That's not true.
Are they in your house in Oak Hill?
No.
Well, I'll tell you one other thing, okay? You're being very honest now, and that's apparent, but the one thing that can probably put this over the edge a little bit to make you look a lot better than you look right now is to tell us where we can get these guns at.
But I really don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. And I really did not give nobody no guns to know. That's not true. Adding a fourth person, that was a lot. I'm scared and I don't want to be in this situation and get in trouble for defending myself.
Okay. What's the
Taking
purpose?
the guns and all of this extra shit.
All right, let me ask you this. What's the purpose of coming up with the fourth person in the car as the driver?
Purpose of the fourth person being in the car. Me being scared, I just didn't know what to say. I kind of already said it. It slipped out of my mouth, so I just
Okay. So,
I'm scared. I'm in a situation I don't want to be in.
but having this fake person driving, what does that do for the story?
I was really just trying to save Dre.
Oh, you were trying to help
I was
people?
trying to help people, bro.
Okay.
But all it's doing is getting me in trouble.
Well, yeah, I mean, being there the night that a kid dies and you being in the car where a bunch of people were shooting is definitely not a good look.
Yeah, I understand.
What else do you know about this whole situation? Is there anything else you know about the Noah Smith thing?
No,
Tell me what 211 on a norm means.
I just told you. From my understanding.
Does 211 on a norm means that a person was killed and I need help?
Yes.
Okay. But 211 is known to you to be BK.
I don't really know what it stands for. I wasn't briefed formally.
Okay.
Like, so I don't really know all the codes. I just know that that means I need help and
Okay.
somebody was killed.
All right. So, last thing I have for you, it's not the best news in the world, okay?
I understand.
You're being charged today with first-degree murder
Okay.
of Noah Smith. You have no bond. This is just a charge. It's not a conviction. Do you understand what that difference is?
No.
Okay, it just means that you have a warrant for your arrest for murder. You are going to be charged today, but it doesn't mean that things aren't going to play out differently with the attorneys and with the court system. So they're going to book you in down here again for the charge of homicide, and then things can play out how they play out with the attorneys. But our role, our responsibility here is done, and there's really not much more that we can do outside of just explaining to you the process. But ultimately, I'm not saying that you killed Noah Smith per se.
Nobody gonna help me, bro.
What we're saying is that many people took actions that night that led to the death of Noah Smith. An innocent kid. Do you understand that? You, Dre, and Pooh, and Terrell Sampson all made choices that night that led a 15-year-old kid to end up losing his life. And this is what the lifestyle that you guys have chose to live, the fake lifestyle of rapping about killing ops and pulling out your fucking pole and I'm gonna shoot you and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, all that fake bullshit has led you to this point where now you and your friends are all going to prison for murder. Okay, well, you were scared enough to shoot into a crowd of people. You shot at somebody. Right, there was multiple people out there, and you were far enough away where unless you're some fucking military sniper, you run the risk of hurting somebody else. It would have been one thing if you guys would have returned fire immediately, but to wait 30 seconds, come around the block, and spray down the block, that's a big, big fucking problem.
I'm just sprayed this shot one time.
Yeah, well, the car did.
Who did?
Okay, well, Pooh will be held accountable for that. He's already been charged this morning.
So basically, there ain't shit y'all could do, and you just wanted to get that out of me so that you could charge me.
You're already being charged. We didn't just make this up as we were sitting.
No, I
This is
understand what
already
you're
done.
saying, but either way,
At the end of the day,
I'm not gonna be helped regardless.
well, Stephen, we can't help you. What we do is we collect evidence and give it to the state attorney's
Y'all
office.
can't
This is what
help
I
me
told
at
you
all,
last
bro.
time. What?
Or you won't help me.
No, that's not true. What we are not allowed to help you. We can't offer you anything. I can't promise you.
saying that, bro.
Right, but what you need to do is you need. No, that's not true at all, man. They go back and forth all the time. Your attorney can communicate with our attorney. You guys can make up some sort of situation on how this all gets resolved. It has nothing to do with us at that point. Our job is done. We've collected the evidence and given it to the state. The state attorney's office felt there was enough probable cause to charge you with homicide today. That's all we're saying.
I'm never gonna see my family. Never gonna see my family.
How old are you, Stephen?
23.
Well, I think you answered your question already, man. You're 23 years old, okay? You're not 60 years old. Also, I'll tell you who's really fucked here is Dre for what he did to Kamarion.
I'm getting trouble for mistake.
Again, man, this is just an arrest. It doesn't mean that you're getting convicted of anything. You will have your day in court. You will have your day in court.
Y'all can help me.
We don't have that power.
We're not allowed, bro.
We don't have that power.
That's not what we do. That's not what we do.
The state is fully aware of your case. We are going to let them know exactly how honest you were today, and then they can take all that into consideration when they're talking to your attorney. You know what I'm saying? Man, we only have limited power. Our job is just to collect evidence. That is literally our job. It's not that exciting. I promise you that, okay? And I certainly don't like dropping bad news on everybody. That's not fun. But what's done is done. You guys made a choice that night. Somebody died. Now people have to be held accountable, okay? You're a grown man. You have to live with your consequences. That's it.
Please make a phone call for me.
Who do you need to call?
Just want to talk to my baby mama.
To your baby mama? They're about to pull you out right now. You want me to call Donna and let her know what's going on so that you can call her? Well, you have money on the books.
Don't.
Okay, I'll call Donna and let her know that she needs to put money on your bills, on your books, so that you can call her. Okay? But I can't call. I honestly, I don't even have fucking service in here
I
anymore.
understand. Oh, I'm never gonna get.
You can't have such a end of the world attitude with this because dude, I understand you're scared. You're always scared. I get that. That's not you. Can't, this is not the time to be scared. This is the time to say to your family and to your attorney that this is what happened. I need help, and then let your attorney work it out with the state. Okay, but you can't just say, "Oh, I'm never going to see this. I'm never going to do that."
Because y'all just said y'all can't help me. You're not allowed to help.
Bro, all we can do is allow you to help yourself. That's our job. And no, everybody says don't talk to the cops, blah blah blah. Bro, the second that we talk to people and they express honesty, this is what gives people a chance in their future, just by being honest. So if you're being honest totally about what happened with Noah Smith's case, okay, you swear that that's the truth? Okay, then I'm going to ask you to do this, all right? And then we'll give your statement to the state attorney's office. Raise your right hand. Okay, do you swear and affirm that everything you told us today about Noah Smith's case, outside of the fourth person in the car, do you swear that all of this is true and correct to the best of your knowledge, so help you God?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stephen, look at me for a second. I think you told us a lot of stuff here today. That was pretty accurate. Are you 100% sure you don't remember what caliber gun you fired? I mean, now that we're being honest with each other.
Man, I'm sure I remember.
Stephen, I still think you know.
I don't.
And it wasn't your gun.
No. I don't know everything about you. I didn't even have guns until Trey and them came to my house.
And you don't know where those guns are now, or where you did it?
No.
I'm telling you though, when we find those guns, if we can prove that it was you who hid them or didn't give them over to law enforcement, that's not going to be good for you.
I understand.
I hope so. Yep. All right. Deputy Hagerty's going to take you, man.
Come on, man.
All right. Call us if you have any other questions or anything.
All right, man. Step up and let's hit it.
Can I please just get a second?
Yeah, come on. I'll put you someplace where you can get a second now around these guys, huh?
Yeah, he'll give you a second.
All right. Just take a right on this bench.
Stephen Monroe was eventually charged and convicted for his role in the murder. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. If you found this video interesting, I know you'll be interested in one of the videos coming up on the screen.